What's up, everybody? We are back. UFC Vegas 9, Overeem versus Sakai. Not a main event that I ever expected to see, to be honest, but it's here. Not the greatest card. It is a fight night card, so we do like to tread lightly. A few decent spots, however. I have learned over this crazy run that I've been on this year, not to force plays if you don't love the card. And that does kind of come up here, but I do like some plays here, so we are going to go over the card. I will go over, obviously, like I do the co-main and the main event if I like any plays. We are coming off a 2-0 best bet night, moving to 74.5%, guys. 74.5% on the year UFC. That's 41-14. I would love to see a better record than that in the market. Please share that with me if you have a documented record higher than that. We sweated out that Magny by decision fight, but it definitely was the right side. Not going to lay that 250 with Magny, so we got him at the lesser price. Was a smart move. Was a best bet there. He had Lawler's back multiple times, which was kind of scary. But he's not great on the ground. He's not going to pull off a submission, so I wasn't too worried about that. And that's why we went by decision. We knew he was going to stand and pick him apart, and that's what he did. Lawler is done. It sucks kind of seeing a legend in there when I don't think he should be. But he gets a check, and hey, he was back. He showed up. He went 3 rounds at least. Obviously, the last fight we had the over 1.5. That was no issue. Probably better bet maybe was to go to the decision. Obviously, a little more value, but I went safe, and we were able to cash on that 1.5. So a little update on this subscription. I do have a subscription option for all sports access packages. There's monthly, there's weekly, there's 3 months, there's an NFL package only. Reach out to me by email, systemsportscapping@gmail.com, or DM me on Instagram. That is my handles on all platforms, System Capping. Feel free to follow me anywhere. Let's get a little update here. 7-1 best bet run since I started this subscription service. 10-2 all plays. So I also give secondary plays as well, not just my best bets. It's all personal plays. So right now, 10-2 run all plays on the all sports access passage, and 7-1 best bets. I don't post bets every day. You'll get at least a few a week. I know I had one that I had 2 in a day. They're best bets for a reason, right? And they are 7-1 for a reason. Secondary plays 10-2, so we're on a good streak there. Super cheap. I am just starting out with it, so rates are very, very reasonable, especially compared to a lot of these other services which are ridiculously priced. 15 new subscriptions last week. I want to thank you guys so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I do put a lot of time and effort into this. This is why my record is as it is. And this is why I did start the subscription service. So I do thank you guys for jumping on. Let's get right into the main event. Main event, Overeem minus 160 over Sakai plus 130. We know where the value is, right? Value is Sakai plus 130. First look at this fight, I would say Overeem should take this due to his experience. Obviously, the level of competition he fought. He has a crazy amount of fights, right? Sakai, though, a lot of people are saying he could be the future of this heavyweight division. When you look at him, you may not think the same. But Brazil's looking for that new top-tier heavyweight guy, and I think he may be the guy. Winner of the Dana White Contender Series in Brazil. Sakai is undefeated in the octagon. He has some big wins, guys, over veterans. Ivanov, Orlovsky. You don't see Ivanov get knocked out. He was able to do that. He did beat Orlovsky. A very close fight. He got the split decision, but he's been in there with veterans, as you can see here, right? So, yes, this is a step up for Sakai. It could be a bit too early for him, right? Overeem have that experience. Experience. That's the name of this fight, right? Is it going to show here, right? Overeem is making his last run for the title shot, right? This will be the last time Overeem that will get a chance here. And he did have a good win, obviously, over Harris. right? That was a big win. Put him in the right decision. And I just see this being there's just no value at the 160 with Overeem. So if you do like him, you would probably want to look at the TKO. But Overeem is the better striker overall, right? So you're getting Overeem as the better striker. This fight will be a striking battle, right? So, however, Sakai, from what I've seen, he can take punishment. He can take shots. So I'm not worried there of him getting like knocked out early, right? I can see Sakai hanging around if he doesn't win. He's more of like a volume guy. He does have a little power, but not crazy knockout power. I don't see Sakai knocking him out early at least, right? It could wear on in the fight. So that's why I'll be off this fight from a side standpoint. If I had to play anything, it's a lean. It would be Overeem by finish, but I'm not going to be on a side. It is a very tough call. What I'm going to be on here is the over 1.5 rounds. However, it is a tough price at minus 200. So I'll be looking to put it in a 2-fight parlay, which I'll go over a little later here. But yeah, that'll be my play. Over 1.5 rounds at minus 200 in a 2-fight parlay. Co-main event. Not too much to say about this one, guys. St. Preux versus Menefield. Looks like this fight is on after it being delayed the other week. You don't know really what's going to happen in here with that delay. Even without the delay, it's a very tough fight to call. I lean Menefield, but it's not a strong play. It's not a play that I have on my card here. It is minus 138. This fight could go a couple rounds as well, so it is tough to call an outcome here. I'm not going to be involved in this fight. I suggest you don't either, but if you have to play something, the play is going to be Menefield. If you think he's going to knock him out, look at the knockout prop. You get it at a better price there, but it's not something that I'll be on. Next fight, Pereira, the wild man versus Amedemov. You're going to get this about, minus 110 both sides. I think Pereira just went up to minus 115, but it's about right. It's priced right, I think. It's a very tough call to call from an outcome standpoint. both guys are coming off back-to-back losses, and they are going to be desperate for a win here. I don't like betting on fights when both guys are coming off back-to-back losses. It's a very tough call on the side here. I would lean Pereira. However, I won't be involved from the side standpoint. Pereira's coming off that illegal knee loss against, obviously, Diego Sanchez. He's just a wild man in there. Anything could happen. You don't want to put your hard-earned money on this guy. Amedemov looks like he has all the tools. He's fighting from a good team, good camp. He can strike. He had a lot of promise coming into the UFC. People are comparing him to like a Zabit and whatnot. But he has some bad back-to-back losses against Roberts and Griffin. Both those guys are competitors. I'm not going to say really at the bottom of the barrel, more mid-pack. Roberts and Griffin are pretty strong. But they were able to beat him. So, a lot of people were high on this guy, but not as much anymore. The price and the line is still showing that, he could win this fight, and I think he could win this fight. I just think there's some value here with the rounds. I found some value here with the under 2.5 rounds at minus 138. Okay, that's going to be the other part of the parlay. We're going to go to a round parlay. I like to switch up the parlays. This one's going to be rounds parlay. So I'll be on the under 2.5 rounds. I think both guys look for the finish, right? We know Pierre's gas tank is very questionable. This is something you want to watch also at the weigh-ins. Watch this fight at the weigh-in. See how Pereira looks, because he could miss weight as well. So watch the weigh-ins there. But I'll be on the under 2.5 rounds in my 2-fight parlay. Next fight here, we have Carol Rosa minus 138 over Ebanks. And, Carol looks pretty solid, especially lately. Carol's 13-3 is going against the 6-4 Eubanks. Carroll is coming off a nice win over Vanessa Mello. Lots of strikes in that one. Was able to dominate on the ground and get the finish there. And is on a 4-fight win streak. And 5 of her last 6 fights she's won. Eubank's never really impressed in the UFC. Seems to gas after a round or two. This is a fight you would want to look at the weigh-ins before pulling the trigger. You know, these are big girls. Fights at 135. Strong girls. Metrics are about the same here. Reach, height. Rosa has fought at 140, 145. She may be the bigger girl here. Might play in fact here. So this is a fight that should go a few rounds and possibly the distance, which would favor Rosa. I'll be on Rosa here at minus 138. It should go to the distance. If you want the prop, you can get that at plus 150. I'm a little more safe here at minus 138. I don't see it as a big difference. So I'm going to stay on the minus 138 for Rosa. Like I can see Eubank starting strong like she usually does, but Rosa picking it up throughout the fight. So we'll be on Rosa here at minus 138. Next fight here, it's going to be my value bet. And it's going to be Azura minus 225 over Smith, the Canadian. That is going to be a value bet here, and I'll show you where the value is. Let's do a little breakdown on the fight. You know, Azura fights out of MMA Lab. Great camp, great guys over there. It's coming off a tough loss his last time out to Keller. He was looking good in that fight. Caught Keller a couple times, but decided to stand the whole time. I would have loved to see him take him down. That's where he is. He's a wrestler. He can take you down. But he got caught against Keller. And he got caught with that submission. That's the only thing you need to watch out for with Keller, right? He'll throw bombs, and if he gets you, you can pull off a submission maybe on the ground. I see him bouncing back here at this price. Tells you that, right? Minus 225. It's not something I would go straight minus 225. I know there's a lot of parlay players out there. I don't suggest the parlays, but throw him in a parlay at minus 225, sure. But Smith has the 2 fights. A little bit about Smith. He has 2 fights in the UFC, 1-1. He hasn't fought for about a year now. His last fight was against Johns. Pretty good fighter. Went the distance, and it was a split. Azuri, you know, he has a lot of promise to his name, winning the Contender Series, and then a win versus Katona, who's a solid fighter in his debut. I think he gets back on track. I don't think he loses 2 in a row. I think he goes to his wrestling. That's where he can dominate this fight. And he can also strike and hold his own if he needs to. Value bet here, though, would be Azuri by decision. Azuri by decision. You can get it at plus money, plus 105. That's where I see the value, right? Plus 105 compared to minus 225. And these guys fight the decision. Smith has a chin. Right, so value here, plus 105 instead of the minus 225. That's going to be the value bet, which I do like a lot. If you don't feel comfortable by betting props and decisions, some people don't, throw Azura in a minus 225 parlay. I don't suggest betting it straight. You don't want that juice. I never suggest that. All right, guys, I'll just go over the parlay. The parlay rounds over 1.5 Overeem, Sakai, and the under 2.5 rounds, Pereira versus Amedov. You're going to get that at plus 159. Great value there. I think both should land. So we are getting some value there. I'm not going to give you, 2 huge favorites, and you're going to get like minus 110 on a parlay. I'm going to give you a parlay. You're going to get plus money, plus 159. Just an update for my subscribers. I will send you any best bets to your email addresses if I have any, and it'll be after weigh-ins, right? I'll see the weigh-ins, and any best bets this week I will send to you guys. 41-14 best bets, 2-0 last week. We're on a crazy streak. We're looking to continue it. Regression will come, but we're going to limit it. That's what I do. I limit the regression, right? You're going to get losses. There's going to be losses on the record, but when you're 74%, you understand what the losses are there, right? So we're going to try to keep the regression, and feel free to reach out to me for subscription details. All right, guys, I thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like, comment, helps me out as well. I always get engaged. I'll get back to you if you comment and you have any questions or anything. Feel free. All right, guys, please just keep following me, keep going over all the plays. If you have any questions, reach out. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.